Game lessons learned the hard way. Be it role-playing games, war games, card games, board games, or whatever. What were some lessons you learned the hard way that you learned by playing them or interacting with people who play them with you? Mine is that it's sometimes necessary to be the jerk for the sake of keeping the group together. Ignoring the problem and hoping it goes away only works in passing. But when the problem is in your group, it just won't go away. You just need to grab your balls and tell them what's what. If they continue to act like a turd ticker.
Turd tickler? Oh, turd tickler. That's good. I need to use that. That's a good one.
Hopefully the rest of your group will stand with you and kick them out. At the end of the day, either that guy will straighten up or at least try to, or you give him all the reasons to throw him out. Either way, it's good news in the long run. What about you guys? What did you learn the hard way?
My entire fucking life.
Yes, basically.
I would say for me the biggest one is no matter how much effort you put in with some people, they are going to just complain for the sake of complaining. I feel like, you know,
some people are just born to be moaners.
Yeah, and I like it feels like, you know, you put in all the work and all the effort to try and, like, you know, keep them happy. You'll be like, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes these complaints are valid, but sometimes you just being a moony wee bitch.
Yeah. And you just need a slap in the dick. Yeah. To straighten the fuck up.
Yeah. Sometimes it does feel like that. It's like, come on, just get over yourself. Come on, let's just do. You know, you don't need to take every fucking minute thing out of. See, this is the problem with playing with Spurgs. Right? They take things the long way. Even
coming from King Spurg.
Exactly.
Over here.
Like, and I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Look, it's just the way it is. But look, let's get into this thread. There's a lot. I think this is a really good question. So it is, and a lot of self-reflection involved. So let's get into this.
I learned that D&D is actually trash. I spent years on here defending it, because I listened to games from High Rollers, Team 4 Stars, The Unexpectables, etc. And I got the idea in my head from these sessions that D&D was super fun and had a solid framework. No, it doesn't.
Honestly, it is. Okay, we'll talk about that once we finish this book.
Imagine my surprise when I have the rules literally at my fingertips. And even through just the player class options and skill descriptions, I find that there is really no framework to speak of. It's a game that asks its DM to write the book for it, despite the company expecting money for the product, despite so many people crediting D&D for things it doesn't even do.
But that's the whole that's the fun of it, creating your own adventure though.
I feel dumb for defending D&D so much when I knew so little about it, but I'm not much better off for seeing the light, as so many others will defend the system as I did, unaware of, or unwilling to admit, the system's numerous faults. Okay. I'm not saying it's fucking perfect.
No, it's far from perfect.
And, you know, the whole thing about writing the book for it, that is the whole fun of D&D.
I think that is.
But if you don't want to do it, there is modules out there to play.
And honestly, a lot of people do shit on the modules, but I really... Okay, so I've only played a handful of them, but the ones I actually had a lot of fun playing was Rime of the Frost Maiden. I thought that one was outstanding. I really liked Lost Mines of Phandelver. I've played that like 4 times at this point, and every time, even though I know what's coming, I still enjoy it and really get into it. And I really liked Tomb of Annihilation, so I did. Or
what I like about
D&D... Tomb of Horror, sorry.
What I like about D&D as well, it's almost like a video game. You can mod it to fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You can mod it.
It's essentially unlimited mods. Yeah. Whatever your DM's go with, can I do this? Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
And plus, you can go online and you can get people's homebrew. You can buy other modules from people. You can buy things that other people have made. Yeah. It's just modding the fuck out of it.
And the thing is...
And creating it the way that you want it.
Exactly. And there's such a huge community for it. Now, this is the good side and the downside, I think. The big downside is you get all the dickheads of the day, because it is the biggest one. It's the one everyone knows. If you're going to play somewhere like a game store, more than likely it's going to be 5e. It's going to be 5e, and that's just what you're going to be playing. Yeah. You know? I think it's perfectly fine in what it tries to achieve, and I think it leaves a lot for people to actually go out and search for other games. The only thing is, whenever you want to play something like GURPS, if you want to play, you know, something else,
Legend of the Five Rings or whatever,
you're probably going to have to find a group online.
Yeah. It's very rare to find, unless you have a group that's willing to try other systems. Yeah. But
why is that such a thing? Why does no one want to play anything other than 5e? It's
I don't know.
Do you guys have any good explanations?
And we're not saying that, D&D's flawless, because it's not.
No, it's far from
a lot of it is a bag of crap. It really is.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bag of shit.
But I think it's all in who you play with and how you play it, and if you're having fun at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter.
What this guy's talking about is, though, he's been watching, like, Critical Role and shit like that, and he's, you know, and I think that's the biggest problem. Like, you know, everyone knows about the Matt Mercer effect and all that jazz. And, you know, look, I'm not really one to watch live streams of, like, you know, people playing video games. So I don't think, because I don't really like watching other people play video games, I'm not going to really enjoy other people playing role-playing games. So it's not really my forte. So I honestly don't have a good... I haven't watched enough to really speak on the matter.
Comment on that, yeah. Be me. Between the ages of 4 and 7... Snakes and Ladders was my favourite board game.
Based and Red Pilled, because everyone knows Snakes and Ladders is the best board game ever made, and anyone that says otherwise, the replay value's insane, guys, that's all I'm saying.
For some reason, everyone I played with introduced new rules which I couldn't refute, because I could barely read.
Wait, what cheating bastards, what's this?
Get told that I have to roll a 6 to start moving. You do?
Do you?
Yeah, well that's why I play Snakes and Ladders. Other players use this to get a head start on me thanks to my shit luck. Get told that if you reach the end and still have move left, you have to move backwards.
I think that actually
That is true.
Yeah, no, that is, I'm pretty sure.
Thought it was a cool rule, but it took me a while to realise that this was only sprung on me because I managed to win for once.
Who are these people?
Who are these that you're
imagine your dad just dabbing on you and sneaking out.
It's a James playing games with Ozzy.
Sorry, that's a dad tax right there.
Try to move on to checkers. Only other kid who will play with me just picks up one piece and moves it around the board to take all my pieces by stacking up on them, then lords it over me because he won.
Who are these people?
Play a board game with my siblings where you have 3 mice and you have to collect cheese while avoiding a cat. Is that
mice?
Mousetrap?
Mousetrap? Yeah, I think that's Mousetrap.
If I'm winning, they just skip my turn.
Poor child. That's fucking horrible.
Decide enough is enough. Refuse to play any board game from then on unless there's a rule book to hand which I can read. Worked out well for me since I press ganged into playing a weekly chess game because my grade 4 teacher thought it would make us all smarter. My face when forced to sit through multiple games of chess because the other players told the teacher, "You're being unfair for toppling your own king as an opening move." Basically, refuse to play if the rules are not on hand or someone who knows the rules will take advantage of you for an easy win.
Honestly, that's what happened with me and my brother. Like, whenever I was really young.
Yeah.
He was a cheating wee bastard, and he would just change the rules every single fucking time. And, like, you know, I'm not old enough to be able to read the rules and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was very young. And, like, he would do this with 40k.
Yeah.
He would do this with fucking everything.
Yeah.
He did this with Yu-Gi-Oh! It was just...
My cousin was like that with card games, like, you know, just like a normal deck of cards.
I feel like people do that to me on Jack Change It every fucking time I play Jack Change It.
You're just shite at Jack Change It.
People just pull out random fucking rules. It's like, oh, pick up two, bitch. It's like... When was this thing? When was it?
Always
pick up another tree, pick up another tree, pick up another tree. That's what I get every fucking time.
But my cousin used to do it for me, but he used to like every card. Doesn't matter if it was an ace, a 2, a 3, a 4. Apparently there was something to do with it. You need to take this. You need to give me 2 of your cards. You need to give me any 2 in your deck or any of this.
We bastards.
I learned to not make characters that won't get along with a party, no matter how well it fits the setting. Story goes, be part of a regular group, D&D 4th edition with a custom setting and campaign. Have to drop off due to work shit. Months pass and I finally have free time, but the group is full so I can't come back. DM lets me take control of an important NPC and villains from time to time for the fun of it. Much fun is had. Apparently I add a lot of spice to throw away characters. One week the party kills a big bad and captures the first lieutenant. Next week a player has to drop long term and I get a slot. Great idea. Let me play the lieutenant as a PC. I even have a great character idea. Flash forward, party has me in chains, is interrogating me, and for all my will I cannot drop his personality. Class Faye trying to trick people into a deal. Not even a mean one, just enough so he has some leverage to bargain for his life. Party isn't having it. I'm a dick-ass son of a dick-ass, clearly I cannot be trusted. This goes on through a fight and 2 sessions. still no trust in the party, and frankly barely an in-character reason why my character isn't dead or run away. We pause and out of character decide there's no way in hell to make this work. I re-roll, and we force the narrative to let my new character meet the party. I miss my Eldrin Warlock, had a backstory and everything, could have had a cool character arc learning to trust people, and the party could have had an interesting face for what little intrigue we got up to.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but if it doesn't fit with the party,
it doesn't work.
And you can't just take like an NPC like that.
And if he's the son of the big bad, if he's the son of the big bad evil guy,
I know.
Why would he betray?
And why would the party trust him?
Yeah,
I don't.
It's such a shame.
I get it, and it fits with the other players were playing it well, because why would their characters trust them?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's no fault on anyone's part here, because it sounded like a really good character, but it makes no sense for the party.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up, so shame, but I suppose it makes sense.
Every week we're going to be doing a giveaway of the new pin-up model of the month, or if models isn't your thing, all of our homebrew content. If you want to be in with a chance to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Do it now.
But last week's winner was this guy. Well done! Yay! Round of applause. Everybody stands up and claps. But enough of that. Let's get back to the video. This might seem obvious to anyone who's played tabletop for any length of time, but I learned that most tabletop players I've come across are there to roll dice with very light roleplay. They're not there to explore a world that doesn't revolve around the party, unravel mysteries, or face any real adversity and loss. They're there to acquire loot, get levels, and feel like big damn heroes.
I definitely buy into the good. Like everyone's got a class
they all
build
want to
that they
level
want.
up.
I can't wait to reach this point, and then I get access to this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my shiny new sword. I can't wait to just bitch slap everyone about the show.
It's like any game, really.
But role playing leads into that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I do enjoy my role playing personally, but I know a lot of people that aren't into it.
This doesn't really apply to all groups, but it applies to most of them. I don't think it's because there's an aversion to these things. I just think it's because more focused and simple stories are easier to stay engaged with, and don't require a long amount of time to stay focused on. Plus, a simple story lends itself to an episodic format in which the players can sit down, play for 2 hours or so, and then go on about their lives.
Now, I will say, before we go any further, I think Round of the Philosophy Meeting did this very, very well, because the first half of it, you're going around all the different towns, and you've got stuff to do at each town, and each town really does act as its one wee session.
Yeah.
Like, you can get everything done in that one session, and it does work very episodically, and they're relatively simple things that you're doing, but they all do combine together in the overall
story.
So I think, I do think you can mix the two together, and I do think it can still work. Like, all I'm saying, if Wizards of the Coast can pull it off, you can fucking pull it off, right?
I learned this lesson when starting tabletop back in 2006 or so. Me and some friends decided to play our first game, a New World of Darkness game, except all we had was the default Mortals book, where the players wanted to play as demons, and I set up a game mostly off the cut, where the players instigated their summoning to the mortal world and caused a riot in town. Then crashed an emergency planning meeting as a possessed FBI agent, and learned of a fallen angel imprisoned in stasis at a research facility. And then finally possessed guards, lab scientists, and military personnel to release him onto the world and toll the first bell of the apocalypse. The entire thing had very little planning or forethought, and was mostly an excuse to roll dice and tell a poorly connected story. But everyone had a great time. Second game had a lot more detail built off the players playing as mages, trying to avert the disaster their previous characters created. So I actually sat down and wrote out a lot of plans and happenings that were interesting, but only served to slow the game down. The slow pot movement, I believe, killed it early on.
I don't know, the thing is, the players need to be writing fucking notes. They do. Don't get, I already
don't be
hear you
nodding
guys.
at me.
You need to be writing notes down if it's a game with a lot of intrigue and stuff like that, because shit just gets forgotten. If it's a game of intrigue, or...
But I'm never going to write down what's in my bag. I'm just going to wing it and see if anybody corrects me.
Yeah, I'm dreading the day anyone asks me, it's like, so how much shit do you actually have on you? You know what I mean? It's like, 10 billion ball bargains.
Over encumbered.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Always go for lethal, even if you're finally presented the opportunity to do some cool shit instead. There's the always present implicit requirement that characters be, at some level, willing and wanting to work with a party. It's what my character would do. It's not a valid excuse when it prevents the game from happening at all, since you made them that way.
Yeah, that's bad character design, if I'm being honest with you. If it's like, no, I'm not going to interact with anything that's going on. It's like...
Because it's what my character would do. It's like, well, how are we going to move along here?
Yeah.
Come on, Simon!
Like, if you just want to sit in the bar, go ahead, pick a character, sit them in the bar, make a new character.
Yeah. Players who thoroughly read the rule books before the game starts are precious. Cherish them. Players who don't read the rules, or only skim them, are normal. Expect them and plan your first session to teach them as you go, but ask them to read the rules after the session. Players who don't read the rules after the session are common, but cannot be tolerated. Kick them.
Yay. Yay.
Well, I do know some of the rules from playing.
Yeah.
Not, I do.
Like, you're not, like, you get what's going on, you know what I mean?
If the game is already going to take a long time, whether it be a war game or a board game, you can take your time and slow down a little. Make sure you make the right decisions and that no one does something that may cause an argument later on down the line. You're already playing for 7 hours. Another 30 minutes to prevent a game-ending argument is nothing. Tabletop quality is a lot less than you think, and everything always looks worse at the painting bench than from 6 feet away.
Wait, what is... Oh, you mean
like wargaming and stuff?
You mean like tabletop standards? Yeah, I always find that. I think, like, my models, I thought always looked really nice when they're sitting on a table. But if you pick them up, actually...
You looked at their eyes. They were fucked.
Yeah, like, I just give up painting eyes altogether. But,
you made it.
No, but I'm happy. Like, look, I'm not a great painter.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty terrible at painting. But I feel like I've definitely got to a point where I'm very happy with how they look. And I'm not like, oh, they look like shit. I don't feel like Whenever I get models, I don't feel like I've just thrown them in the bin, essentially.
Yeah.
Which I do feel like if I do a bad paint job, I just feel like that was a complete waste of fucking money.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have to start again because it looks terrible, you know?
Don't feel bad for leaving a game that you don't jive with. Don't use jive.
Jive. Go and be hip down with kids. A heap, a hop,
a heap, even if it's with friends. They are your friends, they'll understand. If you stay and don't have fun purely for the sake of being with your friends, you will grow resentful.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I definitely think so. There's no point hanging out if you're not enjoying yourself, you know. And that's something I feel like that comes with age, especially.
Yeah.
It's different when you're a teenager and you got all the time in the world, and like you're hanging out doing whatever all the time. But when you do get a bit older, you don't have as much time to hang out
with your friends.
So you do try and make the most of it. Like you always try and plan something, always try and do something, But it's very. Look, it's like I suppose that's a question far beyond the scope of this video. So, and I don't want it to get depressing. So let's just keep going, will we?
I learned that DMPCs never work out.
I think we all know that.
Yeah.
I think that goes without saying.
Look, we've read enough stories, you've listened to enough videos, guys. It just doesn't work out.
Just don't even bother. Don't even bother. If the players need something, hire a mercenary of sorts. We need to go out. We need to go through a date dance first. Hire a local. We need someone to do X, Y, or Z. Hire someone. You're gonna have to pay for them. Don't just be like, but guys. This is my DMPC. He's so cool. It's a little girl, but she's meant to be 400. You guys get it?
And she's really lethal.
Yeah.
Not me, but a buddy took over a Fallout P&P game after the previous DM went off to be normal.
Honestly, I've never met anyone that doesn't. That's too awkward. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Before we had done a lot of stuff, and the previous DM didn't have a DMPC or anything like that. The problem was that my buddy still had a character at the time and tried to balance having him and being the DM. Although he did his best not to favour himself and promoted the other players more, not including me, which I was fine with. The worst part is that he was the party lead too.
Mate.
Campaign ended after a divide excursion due group tension and a major argument, including a major plot point where he decided to get rid of his PC in the worst possible time, leaving me as the party lead. I wasn't even part of the organisation these guys were running with. I was an outsider ally, but I played the next most experienced PC in the party, so I took lead, which exasperated in-roleplay tensions and got me worried since I didn't want to ruin his group. This worry had me making irrational decisions, which only made overall tensions worse in the end. The majority of the other players revolted, and we ended the session abruptly. They yelled at us, mostly him, but they yelled at me for a bit for backing him up. Called us retards, and made a point about DMPCs and how a DM ought not to become too invested into a specific storyline, and instead focus on the character development. They never showed up to another session, and the campaign fell apart soon after since nobody had the willpower to play. My buddy and I realised that DMPCs never work out, and we still blame ourselves to this day for letting things get that far and ruining a campaign that had been running for like 2 to 3 years. Oof.
That's a shame. That is a shame. And and they actually do.
Well, at least we've learned the lesson.
Well, no, but these guys, I will give them credit. They do have a I think that's a valid reason for having
because
like there's not often that I'll say, you know what, having a DM player character is actually valid. That's actually not a bad one.
Yeah.
I feel like, but with Fallout, you could send them off. Maybe they're the quest givers. Maybe they're going to be whatever. Maybe they're administration of sorts. You know what I mean? You can the world's big enough. You can set your character off and they're not going to progress. But I would say just can you keep them on par with
an NPC that just follows about but can also do things.
Yeah,
the DM will just roll if you're in combat.
Or I wouldn't even don't let the DM have control of it. Have it as the guy's there, but he's brain dead, and the other players can use him as a puppet. Yeah. They go off and tell him, "Oh, go off and do X, Y, or Z," and he goes and
roll
does
to see if it happens.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Of course, you can't just send him to his fucking death. It's walk through the minefield through the path. You know what I mean? Maybe not that.
Well, that is what he would be used for.
Well, look, guys, if you ever wanted to get a DM player character in Fallout, there's a lot of minefields. You could one way to get rid of them.
Or if you do want to use somebody like puppets, we do have
we got the Puppet Master subclass. It's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy the Puppet Master subclass. I don't really want to get too much into it. I'll save that for later. But honestly, it's a really fun subclass, and I think you guys would actually enjoy it. And it comes with artwork, so something to check out. Well, actually, we just realised the time, and I think we're just going to end the video here anyway. That was a bit of a that's a disjointed to say the least. No, for me, lessons learned the hard way. I would say, as I said at the start, kind of work with people that just don't want to work with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People will just moon for the sake of mooning. And again, it goes with the whole idea of you can lead the donkey to the water, but you can't make them drink it. I definitely buy into that idea because I've came across this with a lot of people, not even in just role-playing games, just in life in general, where they sit and complain and garn about what their problems, and then you try and give them a solution.
Any sort of advice or lead them in any sort of direction, and they don't take it, but they still moan.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only way to help yourself is to help yourself and to do something about it to help yourself, and I think that's the big issue for me.
I think mine is... don't marry that guy.
Megan.
I'm only joking.
Megan.
Because then you have to live with him.
We've been living together for years, for fuck's sake. That's mean. Very mean of what other, just things in life in general. I think they've had tons of these,
just life in general.
Yeah, just
learning
honestly,
life the hard way.
But again, a lot of people would say, I think this is one thing I've thought about quite a bit.
But it builds character.
It does, and I like to think of the idea of, okay, I wish this or that never happened to me. I wish I'd never done this, and I wish I'd never.
And what ifs.
But again, that kind of defines you as a person, how you are now. And the real question, it's not really, you're not asking the question, I wish I could go back and change X, Y, and Z. What you're really saying when you ask these questions, I think, is, I don't like who I am as a person. And I know, that's kind of depressing when you think about it. But I suppose that's kind of is,
But then you're in control to be able to change that narrative.
Yeah, I do. I definitely believe most people are in a position where they can change what the issue is and what the problems are. What do you guys think? What problems have you came across and you're just you know what? Lesson I suppose worth learned. I'll know for next time. I've, as I said, my entire life feels like a series of unfortunate events. But I think honestly, I think my life's been getting better and better. For the over the broad scheme of things. I think my life is definitely has been on a slow progressive uptick for a long time now.
Yeah, especially with Aussie and stuff.
Very, very satisfying.
Wait until he hits 2 and then it'll just go downhill from there.
Get the fuck out. Look, anyway,
but let us know down below. Write in the comments and hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. Check out the links to the website, the subclasses, all that good shit. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!